వీడు జాయిన్ అవుతాడు, వీడు జాయిన్ అవడం చెప్పడం.
Okay, so better let's get started. Today I have posted a very important announcement, and let me put up it in a very clear words. Better today again I have got this instruction from the university that only those students those will be having at least 80% of the attendance, plus those students those will be giving a good marks in the evaluations that I'll be conducting, only those students will be eligible for the certification. Please make this thing very clear. At the end of this training, this is not your right to claim for the certification. This will be totally based upon the recommendation from my side. Okay, so if those of you are taking it very lightly, one day if you are going to join and then you are going to not join for the 2 days, then you are going to join for one day, but neither you are going to study anything, neither you're going to learn any fruitful out of it, and moreover you are going to not you'll not be getting any certification as well. Okay, so this is my very strong warning and suggestions, and you can consider it anything, but be regular and try to do whatever we have been practicing in these sessions. Okay, now since this is the second week is going on, and at the end of this particular week I'll be allocating you the assignment number 1, and in that assignment beta I'll be giving you few questions, and those questions you need to just execute. It is not going to be the traditional, you're not going to manually handwritten notes are not required. So I'll be giving you some real life problems, and some situation based problems will be given, and you are just supposed to do it on the management console, AWS management console, and you need to record the screen and upload that video file onto the Google Drive. Beta, am I clear with the instructions? Are you able to get this instruction? So how you are supposed to give the assessment? So this is going to be the practical assessment. You need to execute it, record the screens, and upload it onto the Google Drive. I'll be individually checking what you have actually done, and based upon that, evaluation is going to be due. And moreover, better attendance on the daily basis is going to be conducted at the end of these 2 hours. So before 8 o'clock, we'll be taking the attendance. So it's mandatory to attend the sessions. Okay, so try to attend the sessions. And still there are few students those who have not joined. Ritu has not joined. Okay, so we'll continue with our the topic. Okay, so can anyone tell me what topic we were discussing in the last session? But what we were discussing in the last session, can anyone revise? Yes,
Sir, we have to start with EBS encryption.
we have to start with the EBS encryption. Okay, perfect. I'm asking what we have done in the last session.
सर हमने EBS स्नैपशॉट्स के बारे में पढ़ा था, AMI
Mhm.
के बारे में पढ़ा था सर.
Okay,
AMI
we
का पूरा पढ़ा था. Yes,
okay
sir.
we have studied about AMIs. Okay, that is Amazon Machine Images. We have studied about the snapshots. What are snapshot? These are simply the backups that we can generate based upon any of the instance, and from that backup beta we can from that snapshot we can create the new volume as well. Okay, and new volume as well. Yes, from the snapshot we can create the new volume as well. And after that we have seen how this different EBS snapshots are going to work, the volumes kya hote hain, what is a multi attaching is there. So these are the few things that we have seen. Okay, so let me quickly share the screen and let's discuss few important topics, then we'll move on to the management console and then we'll execute it. Okay, so Shraddha has already joined. Let me share the screen. Okay, I hope my screen is visible. Yes, it is visible. So beta we'll be discussing some important points related to the volumes. We have seen general purpose SSD, ये कल हो गया था. GP2 GP3 क्या क्या advantages and disadvantages हैं, this is what we have studied. in the yesterday's class. Okay, so can you tell me the difference between GP2, GP3 and IO1, IO2? Beta, what is this difference? GP1, GP2, GP2 and GP3, these falls under the general purpose. So these are the general purpose volume, GP2 and GP3, and beta these can be attached to the one instance at a time. So these volumes cannot be attached more than one instance at a time. But when I talk for IO1 and IO2, these are the provisioned IOS for the especially for the Nitro EC2. That means it had 64,000 POPs operations that can be performed. So this is comparatively much faster and it is costlier as well as compared to GP2 and GP3. And moreover, these volumes can be attached more than one instances. Okay, so you can add these volumes to more than one instance. Then we have the last one is hard disk drive. These are slow, so throughput is not that high, so it can be used for the big data, bigger warehouse, because cannot be used as a boot volume also, and because this is cheaper as compared to the another two, so that can be considered. Now beta, we are going to start with the multi attach family. Now I have told you, but this GP2 and GP3, I've just told you a few minutes back that the GP2 and GP3, these are the general purpose. Okay, so these are the general purpose and these cannot be attached to more than one instance. But here we have the family, which is the provisioned one. Let's move this. Yes, this is the general purpose. But this GP2 and GP3, these are the general purpose. These cannot be attached more than one instance. But when I'm talking for IO1 and IO2, these are the advanced level. And here you can see it is already written that you can EBS volumes can be attached to more than one instance. Which of the volumes can be done? IO1 and IO2. So that means you can see IO2 volume with the multi-attach feature, it can work. And but as the name indicate, what are all this? These are the EC2 instances. Multiple instances I can create, and the multiple instances can use the same IO2 volume. But these are bound by some of the availability zone. So that means if you are in the AP South 1, so if these are in the AP South 1, so this IO2 needs to be in the AP South 1. Okay, so these are bounded by some of the availability zone. ऐसा नहीं है कि आपके जो इंस्टेंसेस है वो कहीं और रीजन में है. These are present in some another availability zone, and this IO2 volume is present in a different availability zone. So in that case, this might not work. Okay, so they need to be in a same availability zone. So let's read few important points, then we'll try to execute this one. So attach the same EBS volume, so that means a single EBS volume, to the multiple EC2 instances in the same availability zone. So this is very important. They need to be in the same availability zone. Each instance has the full read and write permissions to the volume. So this instance can also read and write on this volume. This instance can also read and write. This instance can also, they are having full control over this IO2 volume. Okay, and the use cases where actually practically where you can use this, the shared or the multi-attached IO2 volume, EBS volume, where you can use this, where you want to achieve the higher application availability. Okay, so where you want to achieve the higher application availability, so that if one of the instances down, better there are the another two instances that are connected to the same volume that can fetch the instruction, that can execute, that can perform all the operations. So that is important. So where higher availability is required, and it is clustered using the Linux application. Okay, second is application must manage concurrent read operations. So if all the three EC2 instances are going to make some operations, they're going to write instructions are executed, so they should be able to do the concurrent, that means parallelly they should be able to manage this. Okay, must use a file system that's a cluster aware. So the XF, S and AX4 etc., these cannot be used. So you need to, it has a special type of file system that you need to use within this IO2 volume, which is a type of EBS volume. So special type of, within this IO2, special type of file systems is being used that are aware of the clustering. So that is the one point. Now coming on to the next topic, that is going to be the EC2 encryption. Okay, so EC2 encryption. So let's try to read this EC2 encryption. So when you create an encrypted EBS by the way, beta, do you know how we can encrypt it? So do I have shown in the yesterday's class how we can encrypt this? Whether we have seen the yesterday's class while creation of an instance, whether you want to encrypt it or whether you do not want to have an encryption mechanism. Do we have seen in the yesterday's class? Please tell me
Yes, sir.
yes. Okay.
They're in storage.
Yes. So see, this is the problem today. Ritu has not joined. Is there anyone who else is recording the session? Because beta daily basis Ritu is going to record the session. Is there anyone who is recording the session? Beta, make sure this is not my responsibility. Keep a recording of the sessions for the future references. So today she has not joined. So I know nobody else is recording the session. Please do not demand recordings from me because I'm not recording this. So any of you take this initiative and beta please record the session. Who is going to record this? Beta, you just need to switch on the screen recorder. No? Okay. So in that case, let me drop a message in the group.
To be grouped in something called a target group. A lot of sense once we get into the topic. It allows you to balance to multiple applications.
Okay, so but we have been discussing the encryption and I have already shown you that Vishal sir, when I try to record my screen got stuck. That's why. Okay, no issues. Okay. So in encryption, beta, when you create an encrypted EBS volume, you get the following. So when encrypted EBS volume is there, what are the things that are going to be encrypted in EBS volume and how we can encrypt this EBS volume at the time of creation of the instance. So data at rest is encrypted. The first point, all the data in flight moving between the instances and the volume is encrypted. So that means data at rest and whatever data is moving, that is also encrypted. All the snapshots are also encrypted and all the volumes created from the snapshot are encrypted. Okay, so whatever snapshots you are going to create and whatever further volumes you are going to create from snapshot, everything is going to be encrypted. And encryption and decryptions are handled transparently, so actually you need not to do anything. So this is very transparent process and it automatically gets encrypted and decrypted. Okay, you have nothing to do. Encryption has a minimal impact of the latency, so even if you encrypt the data, so it is going to have a minimalistic impact on the latency. That means the data movement or fetching and storing is not going to be delayed very much. So everyone, this is recommended. So you need to encrypt. So this is recommended. This is not mandatory, but it is being recommended. So EBS encryption EBS encryption leverages keys from KMS. This is the AES 256. This is the encryption mechanisms. So this is the encryption, what we call this encryption mechanism and the encryption algorithm using AES 256. It is going to encrypt it. Copying an unencrypted snapshot allows encryption. Beta, whatever points are written, these are extremely important. ध्यान से सुनो. Copying unencrypted snapshot allows encryption. That means suppose you have one of the unencrypted snapshot, you can encrypt that as well. Unencrypted snapshot can also be encrypted. I'll show you practically how we can do this. And snapshot of encrypted volumes are encrypted. This is very much understood. So, okay, so snapshot of encrypted volumes are encrypted. So coming to the next one, encryption. Encrypt an unencrypted EBS volume. Okay, now since I was telling you the second last point, but if you have understood this one, what this points mean, this means copying from the unencrypted snapshot allows you encryption. Now the question is how. So the question is how you can do this. How? Okay, and the answer for this is given in the next slide. The answer is this one. So how you can do that? First of all, you need to create an EBS snapshot of the volume. This will be unencrypted. Then encrypt the EBS snapshot using the copy function. Then create a new EBS volume from the snapshot using the volume will also be encrypted. Now you can attach this encrypted volume to the original instance. So these are the 4 steps using which you can encrypt the unencrypted volume. So if it is unencrypted and you want to encrypt this, this is the way you are going to encrypt this volume. Okay, so let's move this and let's try to execute it in practical. Okay, before the assembly elastic file system. Okay, okay, so let's try to do this. Let me better create, let me open the management console. I'm going to try management console, AWS management console. I'm going to show how we can encrypt the unencrypted EBS volume. So this is what we are going to do. Let me log in Sahil Sharma dot. Where is the name? Password.